Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Dia and this here's my co-host Odin. And today, it's not candles, it's not body lotion, it is my most rewatched horror movies of all time. And I'm old, so there's a lot, so I had to narrow it down to 10. And this is the list. And I just wanted to mention, this was inspired by Possessed by Horror's video that she did of her most rewatched movies, and a lot of her most rewatched movies would be on my list too. I tried to leave out a lot of those, so we'll see what happens there. Starting off with number 10 on my list. This is not in any particular order, but I have watched most of these movies at least, I would say 10 plus times. So that's going to be Phantasm. The movie came out in 1979 and I didn't watch it until I was a teenager. The basic premise of this movie is an evil tall mortician, Angus Scrimm. He's so awesome. I just love Angus Scrimm, R.I.P. And reanimating people and things in a small town. I really love the way the movie looks. I love the colors in the movie. I love I don't think this would be a spoiler, but saying the little killing ball things that fly through the air. I love all of that. Everything just fits together so perfectly. It just has such a great vibe. It's got more of a dreamy vibe to it. So if you like movies like that, which I would say like a lot of these on my list are probably has the dreamy vibe. You know, if you've seen it, you've seen it. You probably love it. Me and Vincent went down and saw the last one that came out at the movie theater when it premiered downtown in Columbus, and it was a good time. It was great. It was just like nostalgia. And on my list is Burnt Offerings. This one came out in 1976, starring Karen Black and Oliver Reed. This movie definitely has a really cozy vibe to it. I know I'm going to put that in the title of this video, that cozy edition, but it's not a movie where there's any like real blood and gore. It's centered around a house that's actually alive. A family moves into it and finds that out. I don't think that's a spoiler. I mean, the movie's been out for that long, but if you're a fan of Karen Black, you probably would like this movie. If you haven't seen it, it's oldie but goldie, very fall, very end of summer, beginning of fall type of vibe. I feel this movie has. That's when I like to watch it. I like to watch it at least once a year, so I definitely recommend that one. Another cozy movie on my list, number 8, that when I first saw it wasn't very cozy because when I was a kid, this movie scared me. So this movie came out in 1981, directed by Sam Raimi, and that is Evil Dead. First, when I saw it as a kid, I was like, oh my god, this movie is horrifying, and I had that memory from it horrifying me as a kid so long, and without seeing it for so many years, that when I was a teenager, I was like, I wonder where that Evil Dead movie is. And so me and my friends at the time went to all kinds of different movie rental places. One's out in the country, one's far off, to try to find Evil Dead and watch that again, just to see if it was as scary as what I thought it was as a kid. And you know, when you watch it as an adult, you're like, it's not that scary, but it still has some like shocking stuff, like the whole buildup of whatever. I hope this is not a spoiler. Somebody gets possessed in this. Some friends go out to a cabin and incantate some dead beings. Yeah, deadites. But so I still, on the build up of whenever the sister gets possessed in the beginning, Ash's sister, the main character's sister, when she gets possessed and she starts levitating, I still think that's kind of, I still think that's pretty creepy in the movie. So definitely love that movie if you haven't seen it. I believe a lot of these are on Tubi right now. Like the Evil Dead, I believe Burnt Offerings is still in there, and I believe Phantasm. I believe all 3 of those are on Tubi right now. So if you want to ever watch those, check it out. Number 7 on my list, another cozy movie for me, I like watching this in the dead of summer, in the evening time. Number 7, 2006 movie, Silent Hill. I don't know what it is about that movie. I know when I was younger and the Silent Hill video game came out, I thought the video game was scary. I thought the whole vibe and music of the video game was creepy. I never wanted to play it in the dark. Let's just put it that way. And I didn't get that far through it because it did really kind of make me feel eerie and like something's going on. I don't know about that, but the monsters in Silent Hill are awesome. Would you call it possessed or just dead? I don't know what you would call the nurses, the evil nurses with the knives. Yeah, evil nurses with the knives. I don't know what you would call them, but so basically, maybe I should say this at the beginning if you've never seen this movie. And I think this was on Tubi too. Yeah, I think all of these are on Tubi so far. So a girl starts having visions of a place in her dreams, and her mother ends up taking her there, and, you know, madness ensues. So I really like the way the movie looks, the fog, the ash falling from the sky, the gray surroundings, the feeling of being out in the middle of nowhere in an unknown, just a place of the unknown. So just the different things that they encounter, I thought was like really cool. So that one's a really good, comfy movie as well. Number six on my list. I don't know if these are on Tubi, but I believe that they're still on Netflix. It seems like they jump around to different streaming platforms. So that is going to be Resident Evil, any of them with Milla Jovovich in it. So Milla Jovovich, to me, as her character in Resident Evil, reminds me of Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. And also Xena and Milla Jovovich remind me of Snake Plissken in roles that they play. Well, especially Resident Evil and Xena. Lucy Lawless is Xena, which I love both of them. Oh my god. So this, of course, is based on a video game as well. Silent Hill, loosely based, and just the whole vibe. It's like really action-packed, action-oriented. It's vampire and viruses and just being almost like with Milla Jovovich's character, she's always seems like she's stuck or like it's just like a reoccurring dream, I feel like, when I watch the movie. So I like when I actually work out, I like to work out with one of the Resident Evils playing, 1 through 4, 5. I don't like the Resident Evil series that's on Netflix. It sucks. It definitely does not capture anything about the original Resident Evil movies at all. Boring. Yuck. I hate it. So, but like I was saying, Resident Evil movies, good for all occasions. Number 5 on my list, definitely the cozy vibes when I watch this movie. Oh my god, I love it so much. Is Warlock with Julian Sands, the first one. Oh my god. It almost looks like you're watching some kind of like fairy tale for grown-ups. That's what it feels like. And you gotta remember, like, around this time, so was 89, and I probably didn't see it till like 92, 93, I don't know. But around that early era of like the 90s, you had like black metal really emerging, and the whole visual of it. A lot of movies that kind of reflect that. Not saying that Julian Sands looked like he's in a black metal band in Warlock, but it kind of gives that vibe, the otherworldliness, the, you know, clothes, the attitude. That was like, to me, that's the attitude of the early 90s and really mid to late 90s too. So this is a movie about a warlock. It's got time travel. He goes to modern times. He's being followed by a witch hunter. It's got some funny stuff in it. I mean, there's like a lot of hilarious parts, I think. I don't know if they meant it to be hilarious, but I thought it was funny. But just a very easygoing, vibey movie. No like real blood and guts if you're not in the mood for that. Just like a little cozy up with your hot cocoa and just watch it. Okay, and number 4 on my list is, I don't know if you would call this cozy, but it's good to watch if you're having a party, which I don't really do parties anymore. And that one is Cabin Fever by Eli Roth, directed by Eli Roth. And that one came out in 2002. And it's just about a group of friends going to a cabin. There's like a virus outbreak. I think it's hilarious. Oh my God, it's so funny. And it does have a lot of gross out things in the movie. I think the most entertaining part of the movie is the kid that's jumping off of the porch screaming pancakes doing karate. That's the kind of thing I like. But yeah, a lot of gross out things. It's just highly entertaining. There's nothing boring about that movie whatsoever. I probably watched that one like 20 times. I think it's so funny. So I don't know if it's on Tubi or not. I don't know, but it is. I would highly recommend it if you like gross out, or I'm not going to call it cozy. I'm just going to call it gross out and funny. Okay, so number 3 on my list, I've seen like at least 10, 15 times probably. To watch this movie every once in a while. It's from 1985. It's called Demons. This is a Dario Argento and Lamberto Bava. A Dario Argento and Lamberto Bava collaboration. Oh my God. So when I was like looking this movie up and seeing what kind of description it had on it, it said it's described as a heavy metal splatter film, which, okay, yeah, I agree with that. It does have that to it. I thought it just has a lot of gross out parts to it. It's about a group of people that were invited to this movie theater for some kind of special movie thing or whatever, and they get locked in and madness ensues as usual. So that's another watch it with your friends movie. Not really a cozy movie really, unless you just like want some sort of nostalgia or you want to feel like you did something. I feel like it's got a lot of action in it, so, and there's some funny parts. As usual, like most of my movies that I like that are not the cozy ones, but just like more action, have a lot of funny stuff in it, so highly recommend. Okay, so my next to the last movie out of all these movies that I have on my list is Castle Freak. So I would say this is probably a pretty cozy movie if you're in that full moon pictures feeling. So this movie came out in 1995, directed by Stuart Gordon, and it has Barbara Crampton in it and Jeffrey Combs. And it's about a family who inherits a castle and they get more than what they asked for in the basement. So I love a lot of I love a lot of movies that include castles in it. I don't know. I'm the type of person that is watching travel videos on YouTube where they're in castles or they're building their chateaus, rebuilding their chateaus, DIYs, all that stuff. Like, I can't get enough of that stuff. I mean, I've never been to Europe, so we have a castle here in Ohio in Hocking Hills. So that's Ravenswood Castle, and actually I stayed there a long time ago, over a decade ago, and I got a video I left that video up on my channel, so it should be on here somewhere if you're interested in what that looks like on the inside. But Castle Freak's got a lot of weird stuff. That does have some gross out stuff in it, so if you're not in that mood, probably not the movie for you. So number 1 on my list, and this probably is my number 1 movie because I make sure I watch it every year, and I just love this movie. ever since I saw the part 3 that came out in 94. What was it, 94? Yeah, 94. So that is Subspecies from Full Moon with Radu the vampire. Yes, I love him. And like I was saying about the horror movies in the 90s, did reflect a lot of the bands, maybe not for normal people bands, you know, people that listen to death metal or black metal, or goth metal, whatever you want to call that. But that style was reflected in those movies. Like, if you wanted the whole vibe of the way the 90s was as far as like the subculture feeling, definitely Subspecies. The third one is my favorite because it's the first one I ever saw. And it's, of course, about Americans going somewhere they probably shouldn't be and getting involved with ancient vampires. So I really love the second and the third one with Denise Duff playing the main character, the main victim of Radu. And it was shot, I believe it was shot in Romania as well, in one of the director or producer's castles, using that background. So lots of castles, lots of forest, a lot of cool black, dark elements. Classy, I think. And classy meets cheesy. That's what that is. Yeah. I kind of feel like that's me. Classy and cheesy. Oh, maybe not classy. I don't know. So, yeah, those are definitely my top movies. I believe all of the Subspecies are on Tubi. If you ever want to check those out. Those are cozy movies to me because it reminds me of a time that was just like very fresh and new. In the early 90s, I was like, just got out of high school, and I was just like, what's going on? I'm going to be a writer in New York living in a penthouse. Little did I know. So anyway, that's my most rewatched horror movies of my lifetime. Yep, there's like a ton that I couldn't fit on the list. Tried to narrow it down as much as I could. Action, my cozy, all of that stuff. Seen any of these movies? Let me know. Are you watching anything on Tubi that I should be watching? Anything that's cozy or action filled? So Odin, what's your most cozy movie? And I just want to thank you for watching my video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like it. Let me know if you like the horror movie talk. I mean, I love talking about it. So just let me know down in the comments, or just leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one.